Hello trader, I'm going to do a complete multi-time frame analysis on NASDAQ and US30. Let's see what kind of trading opportunity currently we have in both of these indices. Before we discuss how we can trade on the lower time frame, let's quickly look at bigger picture, looking at the monthly time frame to see overall direction in the market. Now, starting with Nasdaq on the monthly, we can see that previous months Nasdaq closed with a candle that has a long wick at the bottom, which is a hanging man in this monthly resistance zone. If you draw this level, we see that this level acted here in the past as a strong level of resistance. The price has dropped from that zone, and we saw that with the same level the price has broken that high, created this long week monthly candle. Now as a result, this month once the market opened, we have seen a 50% of this monthly candle has been tested, and from that zone we can see that Nasdaq started to reject. Now we see that this is a very long week on the monthly, and if we look at this overall market on the Nasdaq, we see that there is a strong impulse and we can expect a pullback. If we take our Fibonacci from low to the high, we can see that the prices still did not retest 38.2% Fibonacci level. So there is a probability for Nasdaq this month also to remain bearish, to come back down to test this previous support level, which is the Fibonacci zone. That means that we can expect Nasdaq to come down from the monthly perspective. Now looking at weekly time frame, we can see previous week has formed a red candle, which in fact maintaining a lower high in that zone, series of lower high, and also there is a long wick at the bottom. That means that this week we can expect for the price to come down to fill that long wick or even to break the low. As we see that the price is still maintaining series of lower high this week. In fact, the price has reached that important liquidity zone, which is the previous resistance, which is also a price station based on the weekly, and from that zone we see that the price started to drop, and we can expect for this price to come down to create a new lower low. Now looking at daily time frame, we can see that this is a back-to-back 2 days of bullish move, has tested this doji, which is also a high liquidity zone, support here, which is turning resistance, and from that resistance today, yesterday we have seen that there is a strong rejection with a strong bearish candle. So bullish move followed by immediate rejection, which is a sign of reversal, and we can expect today. Now as you can see, once the market opened after a little pullback, the price started to drop, and I think that from the daily as well we can expect Nasdaq to come down to create a new lower low. Now looking at further lower time frame from intraday perspective, we see that there was a strong bullish move followed by a breakdown. So this is a liquidity trigger. We have seen that from this liquidity grab, the price immediately rejected. Now currently we see the price is going up for a pullback. Whenever the bulls breaking this high, immediate rejection, giving a very high probability for Nasdaq to continue to drop. Now if we draw this level here, we can see that in that zone, in this level, this is the support here, turning resistance here, support here, which is also acting here as a resistance. Now based on this current candle close, which we see on trading view around 50 minutes time from this time of recording, if we see that Nasdaq has closed with this one as a narrow doji as well, what I think that we might see another attempt from the buyers to break the high along this zone. We can expect a retest of this 20 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, which will give a potential head and shoulder formation in that area, and from that zone we can expect Nasdaq to come back down to create a new lower low. Based on our strategy, as soon as we see that Nasdaq has given a suitable entry after a strong rejection from the top, we will consider going short with a high probability trade setup with our students. Now let's look at US30, how it is doing. Now looking at in the same way on the monthly time frame, we can see that monthly US30 previous months also form a red candle that has a long wick at the bottom, and this month so far we have seen significant rejection from the top, trying to create a new lower low. It is a long-term bull market as well, And what I think that this month also you could see that slowly US30 might try to break the previous monthly low. As we see that this is a very sharp rejection, the buyers may not be able to break the high without gathering liquidity from below this monthly support. If we look at the weekly time frame, we can see that from the weekly perspective, previous week a red candle with a long wick at the bottom, and we see this week is still maintaining series of lower high from this resistance zone. The price immediately got rejected, and in that liquidity zone, if you look at this one here, support here turning resistance, and below this resistance every time the price creating series of lower high, which is a sign of continuous bearish pressure, and we can expect US30 with the push to come down to create a new lower low. I think that the price might slowly come back down below this support level before moving up to create a new higher high. Now, if we look at the daily, we can see that last day of trading week there is a doji, and if we see this impulse from here on the daily, followed by this correction with a doji crossover of 20 EMA on the daily, and we see today after little pullback, the price is still maintaining the downtrending market structure. We can expect now US30 also to come back down to create a new lower low. So looking at further lower time frame, we can see that on US30 there is a long wick candle here. Now with that long wick candle, the price forming a head and shoulder, which giving a high probability for US30 to break to the downside to create a new lower low. This is where I will be waiting as well. What I think that after closing of this candle, we can expect another attempt from the buyers to fill that week some part of this. And on the lower time frame, as soon as you see that US30 has given a suitable entry opportunity along this zone, we'll consider going short with a high probability trade setup with our students. If you find value in this analysis, then smash the like button and also leave a comment below to support this idea. Thank you. I'll see you soon in my next analysis.